Rachelle.
Hi, Leah.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good.
We have another exciting day on A Little Extra today. And we have we have extra guests.
Extra guests.
So, introducing to the world, this is my mom, Colette.
Hello.
And this is my mom, Maria.
Hello.
And this is our Mother's Day special.
Woohoo! Our first, is it a special? Our first special?
I think it's our first, it's the first thing I've called a special.
Yeah, there we go.
Everything's special.
So it counts.
So, I think we'll kick this off with some liquid courage.
Yep, that sounds good. Liquid courage is good for everybody. Here you go, Mom. All right. Cheers to Moms.
Cheers.
Oh, you guys don't
In one.
what is wrong with you?
Drink it.
In one drink?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
This isn't a sipping affair.
That was yummy.
Would you like another? There's more.
Can we try? I didn't drink that very well. Can we try it again?
My taste buds weren't ready.
Well, if you want to opt out of answering any of our questions today, you can. It's like a truth or drink situation.
Oh, this is fun. I was going to ask you if there was anything like off bar, like that I cannot say while your mom is here.
Yeah, if I veto my mom, does that mean I have to drink? Because
Yes.
if I censor her.
That's so funny. If
Maybe
they
she
don't.
doesn't want me to tell anything about her either.
Right?
Well, I want to know all the things.
Oh,
Yeah.
we need provisions for this already, I
Okay.
see.
When you're a guest on our show, remind you all, you get a little cup that says,
Yeah, when
I'm
you're a
little
guest,
extra.
you get a takeaway.
Beautiful.
I promise we're going to do more than just drink today, but for now.
Oh, we can drink now? I thought
Yeah.
we had to wait for the
Oh,
ocean.
no.
No,
There's no waiting.
The rest is non-ceremoniously drinking.
Yeah, just as you feel, at your leisure. All right.
All right.
Do you want to start with a little history?
I would love to.
I did my research. Hopefully better than the Easter episode. I have all the notes in order. So I took this off of history.com today. So do you guys know the history of Mother's Day?
Nope.
I do not.
Oh, it, like many other things, goes back to the ancient Romans. They all try to take, like, credit for things that we do now that, like, loosely had something to do with something. So we're not even going to talk about that. We're going to talk about when it became kind of commercialized.
Okay.
So, Anne Reeves Jarvis and Julia Wardhowe, these are the ladies kind of credited with it. So, there was here we go again. In the years before the Civil War, Anne Reeves Jarvis of West Virginia helped start Mother's Day work clubs to teach local women how to properly care for their children. So later on, these clubs kind of became a thing, like a unifying force, and it in a region of the country that was still divided over the Civil War. So in 1868, Jarvis, this Anne Jarvis, Reeves Jarvis, organized Mother's Friendship Day. And so mothers would gather with former Union and Confederate soldiers to promote reconciliations. Like, let's all get along now, and like, we're moms, and
So
I don't even know. Yeah.
just making women be friends,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. I think we should have more clubs that teach people how to be friends, because the world could use a little bit of that. So, there was like a Mother's Day proclamation by Julia Wardhowe in 1870, and it was like a call to action that asked mothers to unite in promoting world peace. So this is the whole start of the world peace. Maybe not the start of it. I might have lied about that. So in 1873, Howe campaigned for a Mother's Peace Day to be celebrated every June the 2nd. So there is that. It mentions somebody else. If you want to just look up history.com and the history of Mother's Day. But anyways, I want to go on to the other things. So the official Mother's Day holiday arose in the 1900s as a result of the efforts of this Jarvis lady. So she's the daughter of Anne Reeves Jarvis. Following her mother's death, she conceived of a Mother's Day as a way of honoring the sacrifices that mothers made for their children. So that's kind of more closely like what we would kind of see it
that's
as,
how
right?
I thought. That's what I thought it was about, or supposed to be about.
So, and then get this. So after she got financial backing from a department store. So like somebody saw like, oh, this is a good marketing idea.
Yes.
We're going to jump on this. So, and in May 1908, she organized the first official Mother's Day celebration at a church in West Virginia. Yeah, the same.
More church things.
Right? Nothing against the godly people.
Nothing against the godly people.
So here's the funny part.
Disclaimer.
So this woman that conceived this whole like first Mother's Day,
Yeah.
she was unmarried and childless her whole life.
Oh, no.
But
She
you don't
just
even
loved
know.
her mom.
Yeah.
She's, that's...
Isn't that, it's
Yeah.
sweet and a little bit ironic. It kind of made me laugh a
It
little
is
bit.
a little bit. But you know what? Kudos to her for recognizing how awesome moms are
Yeah.
without being one.
One.
Oh, but the story gets better.
Oh, shit.
This is my favorite part of reading all of this. Okay, so it all started, this department store got on board. You know, all these places are selling lots of flowers and like all this stuff, so everyone's getting into it, right? It becomes very commercialized. So that kind of pissed her off. And so she, initially working with the floral industry to help raise Mother's Day, like, awareness to the profile of, like, you know, Mother's Day becoming a thing, she became disgusted with how the holiday had been commercialized. She outwardly denounced the transformation and urged people to stop buying Mother's Day flowers, cards, and candies.
I'm returning these flowers.
Right? Like, we're so sorry. We didn't mean it. She even eventually resorted to an open campaign against Mother's Day profiteers, speaking out against confectioners, florists, and charities. She also launched... I don't know why I have empty sheets in there. Technology. Countless lawsuits against groups that use the name Mother's Day. She ended up spending most of her personal wealth in legal fees, and by the time she died in 1948, she had disowned the holiday altogether and even actively lobbied the government to see it removed from the American calendar.
Wow.
So she didn't have any mental health
She
issues.
had some big feelings.
Yeah.
Big feelings.
So it's kind of weird that we're all here
Do you
now.
have any Mother's days that stand out to you guys, or do you remember your first one?
I can't say I do. I don't remember
Really?
the first one.
Of all the things I've done for you?
Not the first one?
Are you the
first
oldest?
one.
No.
You're not the oldest?
No, I'm the forgotten middle child.
Ah.
Forgotten one. Yeah, that's why you're...
I mean, I don't feel
that's why
that
you're
way,
out
but-
there, right? You gotta make sure you're all
That's right.
heard and known.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why I'm extra.
Do you
I think Mother's Day starts on the day that you give birth, and it doesn't stop till I die, you know? Yeah. So I think there's no specific day for Mother's Day. It's every day.
Yep.
I think I've always been kind of a crappy kid when it comes to Mother's Day. Like, it's not like we ever made big fanfare. My mom actually usually takes me clothes shopping on Mother's Day. That's how crappy of a kid I am and how great as a mom you are. I really like that tradition. Just saying, I really appreciate that tradition.
Yeah, that kind of went by the wayside after a while. Eh? But yeah, that's what I would do. And I think it had more to do with just after tax season.
It's a little extra money in the bank then.
Just worked its way in there that you can make it for her.
I haven't done mine yet.
Oh my God, I did mine before the end of February.
Oh.
Like mine was in my bank account before
You're
the
that
end
person.
of I am that person.
Yeah.
I'm always waiting on my husband's RRSP stuff. I don't know why it takes him so long to get the information that he needs, but that seems to be our hang-up all the time.
So I have like some momming questions.
I like it. Ask
some
your momming
mom-type
questions.
questions. And so I'm hoping you ladies will oblige us.
And if you
Just a
don't,
minute.
sip up.
This was what, truth or drink?
That's right.
Maybe I'll drink.
City of Saskatoon's driving by.
I don't...
We're not weird, you're weird.
This happens all the time.
It's water.
So, I'm thinking, like, so you are seasoned mothers, let's say that.
Professionals.
And so I'm wondering how much, or what stands out to you, how much has changed in mothering or parenting since you guys were moms to, like, I know you're both grandmothers or great-grandmothers even now, so what's changed, or what stands out the most to you?
I'm going to say the family unit. Like before, like back in my day, whether it was good or bad, there was always a father, mother, and children. Yeah. And now there's so many more combinations and variations of that family look. You know? That and discipline.
Yeah, I was going to say that was mine that I noticed. It's the biggest change.
Like you were allowed to beat us if you wanted to, but I'm not allowed to beat my children.
Yes, that's his.
She didn't beat me. I mean, she tried once with her hand. I think I laughed, and then that was probably the end of that.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be famous.
Is there anything, like, I guess, what's the most positive change? Like, is there anything that you wish you would have known that you could have implemented into your parenting style?
Yeah, for me, I would say so. I wish I'd have known more.
Like
but
what?
I did bring it to my children, and just the mothering itself, right? Like, I was raised really tough, really, not very, like, I was always there for my kids, did everything, but that nourishing kind of, what I see now with how way more time spent with your children and doing things with them.
You want to know something funny? I was talking about this with a friend, and I'm like, I got a certain amount of, compassion and whatever in me, but then there comes a point where it's like, suck it the fuck up and carry on. And then I was like, that's probably some childhood trauma shit I should deal with. And not trauma in, the exaggerated sense, but, that probably comes a little bit from, but at the same time, it is a little bit, it breeds a certain, toughness, which I don't think is bad.
Is there anything you would...
The positives, I think, is that the discipline. Going back to the discipline, I know that it was standard to give a good swat to the child. Like when I would babysit your children, my grandchildren, they had no idea what discipline was.
No.
Do you remember Alana?
idea what discipline was.
Remember Alana? So Alana is my oldest.
Just share that, yeah.
You tell the story then.
Yeah, so she was being her mother's daughter.
The one I told her she would get one day.
Yeah. I told you it would happen. But she was, and I had to scold her, and I told her, I says, do you want Grandma to get the spoon? Thinking, that everybody would be so afraid of the spoon.
Yeah, they didn't
that
even
was
know
the threat I got.
And she was like, are we having ice cream or what?
No. And she's crying. She says, are you going to mix me up with it? She had no idea what
absolutely no clue what that would
so
be.
funny.
That would be. So.
My girls grew up too with the spoon throughout that.
I remember the spoon.
Yeah.
But it came a point where you didn't hit us hard enough with it. And it was just kind of like, I need to pretend this hurts enough so that I can just go to my room and be done with this.
And me as a mother, I'd go to my room and bawl.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Got a little swat on the butt. I'm like, but that's how we were told to discipline, right?
Yeah.
We didn't know. Just kept
And we
doing.
veered off from how we were raised. Like there's always.
I made so many changes from how I grew up.
How were you raised?
Very
Tell the
strict.
people.
Very strict.
Mennonite community.
Yeah.
Not to diss the godly people.
We were raised Catholic. Would you say were you in a strict home, or were you raised by the wolves?
I was raised by the wolves. We were, there was no loving, hugging.
No.
Kiss,
No, I was raised the same. Yeah.
Compassion.
Yeah.
You were on your own.
Yeah.
If you hurt yourself, or if you got hurt, you got to deal with it and just move on. There's no sharing with your parents. That's the thing. Yeah. And of course, I only had one parent from the age 13 on. So,
yeah.
Was that your mom or your dad?
My mom, my father passed away when I was 13 years old.
Her father passed away when she was 3.
Yeah.
You guys have so much in common.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, that was, so, I was raised by a single mom too, as me and 2 brothers. And, but we did live on the family farm, so,
Your grandfather was around?
Yeah, there was uncles and grandfathers, and,
You sound, surprised when I said what's, the best thing. What's the worst thing about today's parenting?
Today's parenting, as in your parenting, or because I have a few.
Who's taking the shot?
Say whatever you want.
We're going to talk about this later. Group therapy.
You know what the best thing is she trusted me enough to, I very often had your children and my other daughter's child at different times. You know, they went on holidays, or you had opportunities that you had.
I had a work opportunity that I was gone for 5 weeks. And 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Someone counted.
6 weeks, 2 days, and
But my mom watched both of my children the entire time I was gone.
Oh, wow.
And that was like, it was just such a good work opportunity that, like, Mom wouldn't let me not take it.
yeah,
So
yeah, it was something she couldn't pass up at the time. So
Yeah. Well, that's what we do.
yeah.
And is that, so you said that's one good thing. Did you not, like, go to your grandparents' lots or anything like that, or
No.
no?
No.
I guess you
did.
kind of lived with them, sort of like.
Yeah. And even you girls were growing up, we always went to all the holidays. We went always for meals. That's changed.
It is, and I don't like that part.
Yeah.
I have
I
so
know.
many fond memories of just like, even like the kids like dressing up for the holidays. Like I could not get my girl to wear a really cute Christmas dress.
Oh, I know.
To save me, I was like, that was the whole thing. Like Christmas morning,
At
you get up
Easter,
and you
you
do
know,
your thing.
oh,
And
you
you put on the
felt
pretty
so
dress
good.
and you go to grandma's
Yeah.
house and all your cousins are there. You're like, what did you get? Well, I got this. You know?
Yeah.
Your aunts are like, oh my God, you're
Yeah.
just so beautiful, and
Yeah.
you're so grown up, and it's
So
those
many
are
fond memories.
special
Yeah.
things.
I know. And that, we don't do much anymore.
Tradition is, I think, as a whole.
Well,
has
we were
changed
thinking
a
of
lot.
starting a new tradition.
Yeah, we're going to try Christmas in July.
Yeah.
Oh.
And go camping. I think a lot of us like camping.
Yeah.
And just like open up like a week in the summer where it's just like come anytime
Come and
in the
go
week
or
and try to
whatever.
make one day where like almost everyone can be there so
Yeah.
that you can do like, you know, a Chinese, am I allowed to say Chinese auction? White elephant? What should
White
I call
elephant.
it? I was going to call it white elephant. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be fun. I think we got to start a new one.
We have such a blended family
Us
that, like, so my family, now that I have, my children have children and stuff, we've started a new tradition. We stopped fighting for Christmas because it is impossible to get everybody.
Yeah.
And so we stopped fighting for Christmas, and we do September long. As a family, we rent a cabin somewhere
Yeah.
and we go and do that. And then
Yeah.
it frees us up from, like,
The pressure.
like I still go to mom's
Commitments,
now for
yeah.
Christmas because, and our kids kind of scatter.
Yeah.
And then we all get together, like, you know, when we can throughout the season. So
Yeah, I gave Christmas Day up a long time ago too, because it's just hard with.
Yeah.
There are so many places to go, and I think for the most part they actually kind of enjoy just being at home on Christmas Day, right? Or Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
I'm very like my husband and I have always been like that. Yeah, Christmas Eve, like not like we can't be out at Christmas Eve, but like that night we're gonna go to bed
Yeah,
in our
especially
house
now that the kids
and
got
wake
older.
up at our house Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was important to me.
Well, as the
Probably
kids
because
got
it's the way I
older,
grew
when
up.
they were little, we did a lot more of that. But I think as they got older, you guys kind of more.
I liked
I
being
also-
at my grandma's place on Christmas. Like that's,
Yeah.
I will always think back to those times as being like my happiest Christmases.
I also
Evolution, family grows or gets smaller, or you know, so you adapt, and usually I think the older the generation that makes the most sacrifices, that happens.
Yeah.
That's true. We talked a little bit about, like, well, you said that what's different is that you got to, like, watch the kids and stuff like that. Did you ever feel like your parents or your mothers were, like, overbearing on your parenting? Or your mothers-in-law? Or...
No, I did not experience that.
No?
No.
just no.
That's it.
No, I didn't. I
This
mean,
is an example. This is Rachelle on the charisma aspect.
No, I can't say. My mom pretty much let me raise my kids. I don't feel like she really intervened.
I don't remember Grandma like even like disciplining us. Like I just not that would have been like a
She was
whatever.
very
but
helpful. Like
lots of
when
good
I
memories
needed
with
to
Grandma.
do, go places, do things, or
We would go to
working.
work with my grandma. She cleaned houses, and we got to know like the families that she worked for all those years, and it was cool.
Yeah, so she was always there to help when she could. So it was,
Like when my grandchildren were smaller and I'd have them a lot, my mom would like, "You have those kids again? Like what are you going to do? When are you going to do for you?" And I says, I am doing for me.
That is
my
yeah.
that
Well, I've
is
been a
my,
working
my happy place.
mom and grandma most of my life, so
Yeah.
I wish I could have my grandchildren more than I do. But they're all spread out kind of too, like they're not really...
I lived at home while I was a single mom for a while, and so I think that
makes
lent itself
yeah.
quite a bit too. And then I did shift work, and so like later on when I had 2 kids, I did a lot of shift work, and then still trying to take some time for me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Do you want me to ask one of my questions?
I would love for. I
would like
questions.
to hear from both of you. When did you know that you had given birth to a legend?
This morning?
Like just now.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know yet. Maybe.
If you don't answer the question, you have to do a shot. So. I want to hear your answers.
When did I know? I knew right from probably she was the smartest little toddler that there ever was. And when I would take her out and we'd visit with my own friends, they would always call her President Leah.
I love it.
Because she was always such a smart little cookie. And I knew back then that, she was going to be a little extra.
This all comes into play,
right? Yeah. How about you? When did you know?
When did I know?
I'm still deciding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm thinking of you and the little extra. Yeah, like you were very, very inquisitive too. You were always into things and trying to figure things out. And when I couldn't find her, she'd be in the barn sleeping with the calves, or she decided one day she was going to paint my house. I was painting, and
unhelpful.
The brush was leaking. It was, not water-based paint. It was the other one. Uh-huh. And it was in that solvent or whatever, where you...
Oh.
Or maybe
maybe
it was even gasoline. I don't know. But she took it and she started painting on the walls. And she's just always been that.
Sounds like trouble, actually.
It is what it is.
We'll just call it a little extra.
A little extra trouble, a little extra...
Yeah.
Every time I see people running, I'm like, is there someone chasing you? Or
that you wanted to go run?
I can only run on the treadmill because I need that thing to propel my feet forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to us being like little people. What did you think when we were little, when I was little, and when Leah was little, what we were going to do with our lives? I mean, you kind of touched on the president thing.
Yeah. I don't know that I...
You didn't have an inkling?
Inkling, no.
Did you think I was going to be a podcaster?
No. But I did not.
That wasn't even a thing.
I was going to say, there wasn't even a thing.
There was no internet. There was no...
Yeah. Leah always wanted to be a guest speaker.
I love this.
Leah always wanted to be a guest speaker. She says that's what she was going to be when she grows up. I says, I don't think that's a job. But it is.
It turns out it is.
Yeah, who would have known,
Yeah.
eh?
When we started this whole thing, I was like, what would be the home run? Like, say, when we were tossing around ideas about what we were going to do, and I was like, the home run for me would be like having my own talk show. And it's like, let's just start where I want to end up.
Yeah.
And so here we are.
I wanted to go and do events and do a lot of public speaking and stuff like that. And I was like, and then hopefully that turns into a podcast. And she's like, why don't we just skip to the podcast? And I was like, so now in my head, I'm hoping the podcast will lead to speaking events.
Yeah. So we want both.
Yeah. We want it all. Yeah.
We're going to have it all. All right. You talked about one of the bad things I did as a little person, like repainting your cupboards with paint thinner or gas, whatever it was. What's the baddest thing she did?
I was an angel the entire time.
No, I wasn't asking you. I wasn't asking you.
She's old, doesn't remember.
Yeah.
I know.
She was always, if she had an opportunity, she took it. And she would take my car. So not so much pre-license, driving license. She was, not that anything that I didn't know. But when she took the car one day and just wrapped it up a tree, and
Well, that was That was a day. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also took the
smashed
car for a drive once when I was, how old?
That tree still doesn't have bark on it. The people in Melbourne send me a picture of that tree all the time now. It's like a famous tree.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm talking about when I was probably like 4 or 3 or something. And you like ran into a gas station and...
Oh, geez, yes.
And I just put the car in
I was
reverse.
traveling with the kids. And
Yeah, our memories need triggers every once in a while.
yeah. I just parked right in front of this store and ran in to grab a coffee. I was traveling from Wainwright, I think, to my mom's in Langham. Yeah. I come out and my car's going. I was like, what? I look over and here it's backed into a snowbank way over there. So yeah, Rachelle got out of her car seat and decided she wanted to drive.
Well, car seats were really lackadaisy back then.
Well, they were, and I barely had
time.
started even using car seats at that time.
I think, didn't you say that you had one and I was always the one that got put in it?
Trouble.
But she still got out of it. It didn't help.
I was bad.
Yeah. So I was so relieved that my kids were okay, but it's like, holy crap, that scared me. Yeah.
I think the only like little kid story that I remember you telling, and I have like vague memories of it happening, was, and maybe it was a little fortuitous, but a statue of Jesus fell on me and pinned me to the ground. I was like 3.
She went to crawl up the statue of Jesus that was probably about...
Were you trying to mount Jesus?
Yeah.
I'm not telling.
Sorry to interrupt you. I couldn't pass on that opportunity.
Yeah, and a good thing that Jesus' hands were like this, because when he fell forward, that hit the ground first, so she was
pinned underneath there, but
pinned in there, but not hurt at all.
It's a good thing he wasn't praying.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good story. I like that one. That might be my favorite.
Is it?
Okay, you ask one of your questions.
All right, what else have I got? Okay. What is, and this is a question, all questions are for both of you.
You guys want some snacks? Are you waiting to do something with the snacks?
No, not at all. Have a snack.
Look at this.
I have no idea what the flavors are. You're going to have to tell me.
Okay, thank you.
Might be strawberry, maybe cherry.
I want this neutral looking one.
I want this like double chocolate looking one. It looks so good.
Mmm.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm. What's yours taste like? What's green?
Sugar.
Yep.
Dye and sugar.
Green food coloring.
I think mine's peanut butter.
Mine's like chocolate. What's yours?
I can't tell for sure. I think it's strawberry.
Okay. What quality of us do you most want to take credit for?
Good question. Correct.
Like besides drinking?
Her tolerance for alcohol.
Woo! Yeah. Taught her how to party.
I do have a reputation.
I think on a serious note, probably the ability to problem solve and just get through things and not lay down.
That's where I got that from.
Is that where that comes from? Because I'm really tired. No.
That would be the thing that I would say I admire the most in you.
Yeah, and that's the quality.
This moth doesn't want to leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
It was like in your hair.
Yeah, it's like a spirit animal thing. She's coming back as a moth today.
I think for Leah, I think it's, I don't know if it's a nurtured thing or a learned thing, but her kindness. And I'm not sure that I have that level of kindness that she has, but I think that there were times where we saw somebody or something, and I would give her options of how she could handle that, and kindness is always something that I talked about. Yeah. So I think that was, whether she got it from me or that was a learned thing. I'm not sure.
It's something that you presented.
She modeled.
I would say my quality that I most attribute to you is my work ethic. And, like, just, I don't know. Like, I saw you essentially act as a single mother and do, like, all of these great things and progress through your career. And I just wanted to be just like that. Like, I wanted to, like, learn more and better myself and keep, like, kind of climbing that ladder. And that's what's always driven me to do that.
And you could have resented that, too.
Oh, there's other things
Because
I resent.
I had to work all my life.
Yeah.
There's probably one of the siblings probably do, but not her.
If there's a question on resentment, I'm going to start drinking.
Yeah. I did not have
go
that
there.
question.
What do you think the childhood trauma is that you gave me?
Yeah. What do you think?
Kidding. Where's the shots? We need more.
It's around here somewhere.
Nobody's going to
Did you hide it under here somewhere?
I don't know what I
Maybe
did
in
with
there.
it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we'll find it. Okay, I'll find it.
You're going to find it?
Yeah, you ask another question.
All right. What is a time that you can remember that you got super embarrassed by something one of us did? Like, can you, like, it's something really stupid that we said, or... I know I say a lot of stupid things all the time. I got, like, foot and
I
mouth
had a glass.
disease.
I had a... You had foot in mouth. Oh, foot in mouth.
Yeah,
disease.
not hand, foot, and mouth. Not mad cow disease. Or
It's going around out here.
Ew. As I stick my bare foot into... No, just kidding. What is somebody else running? You okay? You want a shot?
All right.
All right.
Oh,
Here. To loose lips.
Oh, shit.
oh.
I feel like I taught that to her, and now she'll
What's
never
that?
let me.
Oh,
What is that?
You're supposed to set it down first?
What's that?
What did you do?
You tap it on the glass
Oh.
first. I am dying of heat. It's a
I
million
know,
degrees
me too.
today.
It's hot, but I'm not ready to show my white arms.
You know what?
I'm not there yet.
I probably have like pit stains and like
No, you look
I
cute.
got all
as F.
sweaty.
No, you're good.
I'm sure my shirt's see-through and
It's just the right amount. No. All right. So my question was an embarrassing moment that you can remember through. Did I ever embarrass you really bad? It's only proud moments.
There's only proud moments.
That's
That's
what
all
I
I can remember.
I didn't think this question would be for you, but I'm sure that
feel free to jump
Colette
in
had a
with
lot.
it. just keep feeding her with stories in the meantime.
There's too many.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
I've got one about my kid while
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys ponder.
'Kay.
My oldest kid, we went to La Senza once, and she's like 3-ish, and she's basically a glorified clothing rack on the floor. Like, she's sitting on the floor, and I'm just like throwing clothing on her and trying to get through this changing experience as quick as possible. And she, like, full 3-year-old voice, full like volume voice, Mom, I can't wait till my boobs are hangy like yours. And I can hear like all the other ladies snickering in the change room. And I'm like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but we're going to refrain from using the word hangy. That's not the word.
Also, it's your fault.
Yes.
That's funny. Have you guys thought of one yet?
Yeah, when I was...
It's coming now.
Oh, here,
Oh, there we go.
Speaking of boobs, she was always very much in love with her sister when she was born, and of course I nursed like every good Lacheshly or whatever that's called, breastfeeding person is, and she would when the baby was crying and I was away busy doing something else, we happened to be at a hockey game, I believe. Maybe it was a curling game, I'm not sure, out in the wintertime. And at a game, and I had stepped away from the kids for a minute, and she was crying, so she decided she wanted to nurse the baby that was crying. So she lifts up her shirt and undoes everything, and this poor baby is just searching for and not finding anything.
There was nothing there.
I was not as well endowed.
I was.
At that
She
point.
didn't have hangy things.
I was
Not yet.
hanging.
That's funny. Nothing?
Yeah, nothing.
I got one from one of my kids. So when my daughter was really young, I had a girlfriend over. So it's like it was embarrassing, even though this is like a super close friend. But anyways, I must have been like complaining about my husband. And so we were, talking about things. And like, she's maybe like 2, maybe not even 2. Talking. So yeah, probably like 2. Anyways, and like I use curse words a lot. Part of my vocabulary. Anyway, so I'm like saying something like, yeah, like he didn't even blah, blah, blah. And Banley like walks through there and she's like, fucking daddy. I was like, all right then.
Part of you wants to be like, that's right.
You heard it, girl. It's just like, like you think that you're so careful. And it's like, I have never like spoken about him like using harsh words like that in front of them, but she still put it together. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So that was a little embarrassing because it was a little extreme. And I also laughed a lot. So
I have a question.
Oh, I want to hear it.
Is there anything about either of us that is maybe a little too extra? Like you just want to be like, you know what? You could tone that down a little bit.
I can handle it, Mom. Just say it.
Yeah, no, I don't think I can do that.
I didn't say you could. I'm just saying. I'm not saying she's going to do it.
Yeah. No
promises.
Yeah. No, what I've watched, and I just like that she follows her dream and does. Like, I mean,
I'm a little outspoken though sometimes that I can be hurtful. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were honest, that's what you would say. That was a great example.
Okay, there you go.
No, Mom. That's not the answer.
Do a shot.
I must not have seen those ones yet. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted.
You haven't seen that yet?
Where you were hurtful?
I feel like I'm so outspoken or blunt. Not that honesty is a bad thing, but like sometimes my delivery is
a little crass.
Harsh.
A little crass, yeah.
Not with you, but even just in.
Yeah.
No?
No, rock on, Rachelle.
I guess I
just be who you are. That's all I can say. I don't know. Who am
that.
I to say? I don't know.
I can tell my mom is like, I haven't given mine yet.
Chomping at the bit. All right, let's hear it, Colette. Let's go.
Well, really exactly that. Like, she will never let, if she has an opinion and wants to share that opinion, she will jump in. She won't just hold back and just, hand in lap and, hold a yoga position or something. She wants to jump.
Everybody needs to hear it.
And,
I'm very
my
smart,
opinion
though.
is.
So,
yeah, like
very smart.
Everyone needs to know what, I mean.
It's either really smart or really funny. Either way,
cheers
it
to
needs
being
to be
fucking brilliant.
Right. And a drunk. Look at you.
Yeah, mine's gone. I drank it all. It was good. Rosé all day.
Rosé all day. Not anymore. You lush.
To the liquor store.
Just wait. We have this still here.
Oh,
so.
perfect. Okay, well, I'll pour. Do you have any more questions? I asked all of my questions besides our advice questions.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm not looking at a clock, but I feel my gut tells me that we're about time for some advice.
Okay. Oops.
Carry on, dude. Like, I think it's whatever track you're on, whatever don't ever have a complete destination, because any track can go in any different way, and just keep trying every one of them till you reach your happy goal.
I love
That's
it.
your advice. Yeah. I like that.
Okay. What?
Yeah.
Do I have to stay on the same track and keep going, or can I just jump the tracks all the time? That's what I'm good at.
That's what you do.
How about derailments? How are those?
Yeah.
I've had so many of those.
Yeah, and mother will always be there when you derail if you need.
Aw, I know that.
Yeah.
I always know that.
Yeah, but you can derail as much as you want, as often as you have. I would never, I would never criticize it or say, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that."
That is something that I
always.
Well, that's one of the phrases that I dislike the most in my life is you shouldn't have done that. You know,
I tell people that, people that know you, but also people that don't know you, the coolest thing about you is that my mom supports and has my back no matter what I do, no matter how stupid and crazy it is. She will never be like, what's wrong with you? Like, I don't think maybe I've heard a couple times, like, as a little person.
Yeah, I've heard, what the fuck, Leah? Like, more than once.
I'm sure she's thought it. You know, when I'm like 17 and I'm all like, yes, I'm like following this guy to like Taiwan. I'm going to go teach English there. She's like, okay. You do you, girl.
The only time I think I used it on you was when you guys started that fire in the park and we were getting drinking.
You want to know this story?
What were you thinking? Like, you're asking the cops to come. Why did you make a fire?
Yeah, so
you're more worried she's going to get caught.
We did get caught. We had a bunch of like old, we bought a few big old Milwaukees, like 1 liter beers. And then we go to the Ball Diamonds and we're like, ooh, we're going to like have a fire and have a beer. Yeah. The cops show up and they're like, were you sending a smoke signal? Or, like, there's a fire at the Ball Diamonds. Yeah. What's happening?
It's like, what were you thinking?
So they come, they make us all split like a 160 or 170 or whatever the amount the ticket was back in the day. And then I got tasked with bringing the empty home because he did not want to see it littered. He even signed it to make sure that we wouldn't litter it. So I'm like walking home, doing the walk of shame from the Ball Diamonds. It's like, 5:30, 6?
Yeah.
And my mom drives by and she's like, shut in the car.
There's the car driving and the kids are walking.
So I tell her what's happened and she's like, well, I think you're going to be grounded. And I was like, well, you knew that I drank. So I just got caught this time. You're just mad I got caught. She's like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what came of that, but I feel like I ended up not grounded. It was just a little bit like, be smarter.
You had learned your lesson. Like the cops, this was in Delmany, and the cops were amazing there.
I was just going to say, I've never grounded you.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I got grounded for 1 full month straight. And then the lady across the street, she used to work at the nursing home behind the high school, and she phoned mom once and told on me for smoking. I got grounded for that. And then I didn't come home one night, and I got grounded for that. And then, like, I spent my...
You're lucky that was just grounding.
I know.
My mouth got me grounded a lot. It would start with like, you're going to be grounded for a week. And I was like, and then she'd be like 2 weeks. And I was like, and she's like 3 weeks. Like there was one time I think I was grounded for like 5 weeks. There was this boy that I was dating.
Birthday.
Yeah, I was grounded the entire time I dated this guy. That's the thing. That happened.
That's always how it went. Yeah.
So what the next generation of parents that are coming up, what are your words of wisdom to the next round of parents?
Don't do what your mother did.
No, that's fair.
I like that.
Are we going to go with that?
Yeah, we're going to go with that. No,
insert.
Yes. Yeah. Just always be watchful and mindful of what's going on around you with your children. I think I had one too many. I couldn't watch them all at the same time. It was, yeah.
I got two kids because like the man-on-man defense. Like that's what we agreed. I was like, there's one for you and there's one for me, and I think we can together.
My oldest is 7 years older than my youngest, and I feel like that was a really good strategy because like it was just help. And she was so helpful.
And super, that's a good age.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good age separation for...
Okay, more advice. What is the worst piece of advice you were ever given about motherhood?
It'll be fun, they said.
Lies!
Yeah. Oh, it looked like it'd be so great. Yeah.
The worst thing that I was ever told is, you've made your bed, now you have to lie in it. I mean, I wanted to get out.
You're like, I wish I could lie in my bed.
Yeah, but no help, right? Like
help.
Just...
I'm not helping you to come with suitcase in hand and a child and go back home. You made your bed, you lie in it now. No support.
Rank. You probably know what that's like.
Well, not necessarily. Like I said, my
grandma was very supportive.
She was supportive. When I had my first baby, I lived about 2 hours away from where she was. And I had a colic baby. Of course, my first one, I was blessed with that. And
you had more?
She cried and cried and cried. And I called my mom. I said, I can't do this. And, I don't know what to do. And Well, she showed up at my doorstep and stayed with me for 2 weeks.
Did you cry? That makes me want to cry. Go, Grandma.
Yeah.
Good word, Grandma.
Yeah.
I don't know if my grandma watches, but I hope she does.
And
I
at
feel like
least
we
I
should
had
have
somebody
you
to
guys
take
back
turns.
for a sibling episode.
Yeah.
For an episode on our siblings.
That would be fun.
For us.
Okay. What about, so let's finish up on this. What is the best advice that you can give mothers with children who are as extra as us?
Let them be. Let them be.
Or be more extra. We have to, yeah. Out extra them.
I like it.
Out extra them, yeah.
I feel challenged in this one.
Yeah, right? I'm like, all right, game on.
Yeah, let's go. Bottom
All
up.
right. Good chat, moms.
Yeah, good chat, Mom.
Good
Thanks for
chat.
coming. Tap it.